So I'm heading over to the community garden that I got in Santa Quin City this year. I put in for a raffle drawing for the city and ended up with a garden space. It's right next to the library. I'll have some early videos when I first got it, and then I'll give you an update to where it's at today. It's about 10 minutes from my house, and like I said, it's right in the middle of the city off Center Street. And I am lucky enough to have a little vegetable plot, which I've been lacking since I moved to this home in Santa Quin 4 years. I haven't had a vegetable plot since then, so I've just really enjoyed it. So here we are at the Santa Quin Community Garden. No dogs allowed. Sorry, Dusty. So there she is. This was for the netting around our trampoline that we got rid of. So we're putting this in here for a trellis for our pole green beans, which means that they can grow on a pole. And then also our non-determinate tomatoes, because non-determinate means it doesn't have a determined height that it goes to. It will just keep going. So that's the plan. If you live where you don't have a space for a garden, a community garden might be a good fit. There's in Utah, one such garden is the Wasatch Community Garden, and it's in Salt Lake County. If you're interested in starting a community garden, the American Community Gardening Association is a good resource. There's also a way to share your produce with the local food pantries or people who are in need. The Backyard Garden Share Program finds home for surplus produce from your garden and then distributes it to food bank pantries and schools. With this extra pork rind things that we have from Sam's Club. Sam's Club has these giant pork rind things, and I think they'll work good. Still mid-April, just about, and what is it? What's the date? The 20th. So you can put tomatoes out if you give them cover before Mother's Day. So here we go. Out and move it, but you just want to make sure they have enough room. I think it's a tiny bit tight, but it will work. You don't want to scooch it down so it doesn't blow over. And also, I'm going to water them. When we do bury these for the last time, we're going to bury them pretty deep because tomato plants will make more roots on their stems if you plant them deeper, which makes them healthier and get more nutrients. I'm sure if your city isn't doing this or something similar, that there are grants and money available for this. I have growing here, and I have tricolored carrots, and then interplanted I have some onions. Onions are supposed to help ward off the white fly or carrot fly. I also have some marigolds to help with the insects. They're looking a little bit sad right now, but that's okay. If we need to, we'll replace them. Insects and things are a part of gardening, and if you don't have these issues, then your garden's sterile, and that's probably not good either. So obviously have some damage here from bugs or worms. Not too concerned about it because I have a lot of hoverflies and snapdragons. In fact, there's a hoverfly right there on that leaf. And they eat the aphids and small insects. So they're doing me a favor. Right now I have some lettuce growing up right here. I also have little bits of morning glory that keep trying to come up. And I'm hoping to stay on top of them by just keeping them not getting sunlight. And eventually, since I've already been covered by 12 inches of soil, they'll quit coming up. So this plant and this one here are both Peter Pan squash. And then I have two delicata squash right here. So this one and the next. And then interplanted in there, I have some sunflowers all the way down. And I have this support system. So every so often, like 6 to 8 inches, I have the supports. And then I've just wove the sunflowers through it to give extra structure, as you'll see in a minute. I'll show you more, but I'm going to turn the water on so we can be watering. So there's water piped here all the way down to all of them, and they all have 3 emitters with PVC pipe that they've drilled holes in. So I just turn them all on. I've really enjoyed my lettuce. I've been cutting and coming again, so this little area here that's shorter is the last area that I've cut. I've been gone for a couple days camping, and everything still looks good, which is always nice. I saw a little morning glory over here I'm going to pull. Okay, so here are my pole variety beans. I have been using these pipe cleaners to hook things to either the sunflowers or the string. It's been working out pretty well. So far, these are just barely starting to need some structure. As you can see, I got one bean that's going quite high. Then I have cucumbers in here as well. There's a little cucumber flower. I don't grow cucumbers very often, but my daughter wanted some. I'd asked them what they wanted. I started out with certain tomatoes. They didn't live, so I ended up buying some, and I didn't label them very well. So I believe this is a pole cherry that I've had started from seed in one here. And then I have a variety of, I think I have one more cherry tomato type, and then I have heirloom tomato types if I could find them. So here's some cherry tomatoes. They're so good. Look at that little cutie. So far I've been the one eating them, and I haven't taken them home because there's only just a couple, and I come out here and water. So I think I'm gonna get the first pick. I have planted in this bare looking spot some Swiss chard or rainbow chard. It's coming up. Also here I have 2 acorn squash that are smaller, and then one that's larger. They've been struggling. I have put some compost down, and it's helped, so I probably just need to do that again. But I think there might be a bug getting them too. Underneath the leaf of this, I have some cilantro. If you put it in a tiny bit of shade, it helps so that it doesn't bolt and get flowers and go to seed. So I don't know if you can tell, but I've treated all of these sunflowers and stripped the leaves that are lower off to make sure that all the plants that are interspersed, like right here I have a green bean, that they're getting plenty of sun, and they will provide some good structure. So that's been kind of fun this year. I've never done that before. Look at these cuties. So for me, this is accomplishment. I have vegetables, fresh tomatoes growing in a garden that I have pulled together, and I wouldn't have been able to do it without a community garden. So I think if your city doesn't have one, talk to them about it. They bring a lot of joy. And pull that guy. Don't have too many weeds. They come out and water every day pretty much, so I am pretty good at catching the weeds as they're coming up. Some of these seed packets for the lettuce will also have weeds in it, just because it's error on the seed grower's part, but understandably so. Not very many of them came up that were weeds. Look at this yellow jacket. They also are good little predators to take care of bugs, and must be getting a drink. Well, I appreciate him being here. I know it's no fun to get stung by bees, but it's also no fun to have all your crops get eaten by bugs that you don't want. So thank you, little guy.